Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the game War in the Pacific, Advanced Edition. This is my play by email match against AsuRob. He's a allied commander and for me it is the Empire of Japan. 2nd June 42. Hopefully I can recover from my lost battle today in India and get my army back in safety to Calcutta and then refit it. That is the biggest point I have to worry about. More allied ships are sinking and I have really no idea where or what. And it sounds like not only one ship. Again, no Navy activity. Smaller British forces attacking near my troops on the ground. Also back at bombardment at Suva, but very small scale attacks. And here at Australia, my flag is still creating damage. Of course, I also receive a lot of payload. Biggest issue I would say in Australia is also supply shortage. So, but I can down one seagull. Again, seagulls for ground attacks, a little special but possible. Flag hits on Wellington. Marauders attacking Nadi, and they're coming very low so they can dodge my cap and get one bomb hit in my AKE. Oh no. So AKE is a support ship to rearm ships with shells, even if the port can normally not handle the size of the shells. And similar situation here, the B-17s are also coming low, relative low, on 10,000. I mean 10,000 is nothing low. When I come at 15,000, it's only that my warning radar time is, you can see, I have no time to intercept. I was sure I had radar, but no. Only because you have radar means not that you will always detect the enemy. But I can down the lightning. I guess this maybe attacks without HQ support from the base where the strike aircraft are coming from. So that you have this always this every air wing is doing its own single strike. That is good for my flag because then always the full flag power is able to shoot on the enemy incoming aircraft strike. If it's one big strike, you still have only this amount of guns and then you can create less damage. Good, trying to break here the block at north of Xi'an. I not really push too much in China because I'm hard pressed to really deliver supplies. The casualties are high on my side, but mostly only disabled, so I can destroy Chinese units without losing a lot of my own equipment. But I cannot win the battle. Good, here's only some field artillery forced out. A lot of equipment destroyed. Now here in the source again. And today I finally take the last Chinese port. There's still a French port, of course. West of Darwin, also the Space Force, I was never able to defeat it, now I force it out. Good. And there was some damaged aircraft on the ground, I think there was simply no AV, and these are all Kitty Hawks. Yeah. Maybe this was, the idea was from Rob was to sneak these fighters and then do something with them, but then stack here forever, I don't know. I was able to destroy them on the ground. Now it's an allied counter-attack on my forces, and I had not much left, but I have still, this is only active units ready for attack. I mean, I can still defend. So, and I am forced out of my city. Pity. So I gets kicked out, a lot of equipment getting destroyed, that for sure. So that was the first real victory, I would say, for the Allies in this war land-wise. But still nothing gets destroyed here, only destroyed equipment. It's still not good. The Allies are also attacking here at this block left. This was only support guys, so I had nothing else, so could not hold longer, but it's was able to buy me some time, so I hope my reinforcements will soon arrive and then I can retake the city. Still not really great. Here's a small battle in northern India. This I can win. The regiment is able to defeat both British Australian. India. Well. So yeah, I was not able to hold my ground. Was nearly clear for me. My army is now defeated, now I have to retreat. Luckily there was no follow-up tank units. They would, normally now would be the chance to have some mobile units, tank units like cavalry units, something like this. And then beat my forces, what I always do with him. But no, it was only attack without no fast units follow-up. So air war was a victory for me. I lost only a recon aircraft, and the Allies lost tons of aircraft, but this is all more or less related to this Kitty Hawks, all destroyed on the ground. And the rest is ops losses. Also one lightning. Oh, 27-1 is of course a perfect score. And nearly 5-1 kill ratio. Good, ship sunk. There was some sinking sound, but I don't know. Hard to say. Maybe some cargo ship hit a rock or something like this. So no victory here, but the Chinese are dying. Good. And victories here in the north, but defeat in the south. Now I have to fall back now. I have now my regiment must cover the retreat, and the rest is trying to fall back to Calcutta as soon as possible, and then rebuild the whole army. And then I must ship more troops to Calcutta. The problem is that Calcutta now really requests a lot of more AV, but all other bases requesting a lot of supplies. Hard to manage this all. A victory here with a lot of destroyed aircraft, fine, and I can now free up my regiment. And this is only the block force, they can hold the city here This is a base force. They can stack there if they want. And more troopers showing up here. So there's a small sideshow fighting here in the backlands of Darwin. And I think it's not super important, but it's also a war, area of war. I lost the control of this base, but I am able to reach the town in 2 days. That's also, the support gets defeated, but I think lost not much. And the full assault division is ready to move in also in 2 days. So I guess in 2 days I come from north and south at the same time, and then I can kick out Australians, and then I have no disaster situation, let's say this. Here in the north I have to retreat with some equipment, I'm not more sure what. I think one unit getting defeated. Yeah, this guy is completely disabled, so I must move back and let it recover first. That is a mixed brigade. And at Fiji, nothing more. My carriers are retreating and read far. Yeah, I must prepare to go back to Japan because in July, still some weeks ago, but in July Xargun need a refit, and this is an important refit because you get radar. And Yunyo have already radar. Yeah, okay. Ryo will also get radar. So this two carrier, no radar for this one. Pity. But still get anti-aircraft guns. Good. I'm not more sure if my battle. No, they think the cruisers know they have everything is fine. Good. It's only. Yeah, you can see not a lot of supplies and fuel are here to operate this kind of ships non-stop. It's. I try, but not everything is possible. I have fuel here in Rabaul, but I must ship it to the front line. And yeah, here's also fuel I have with really more supplies, demand and shortage. Good. In Yokohama, I have now my 3 Shukaku, Zuikaku. They just start the refit. Yeah. Well, yesterday maybe they start refit. So they just get installation for the new guns, radar. Now I need over 3.5 weeks to finish all this. And also the ISIL class battleships got an upgrade. They also have now radar. This will also, but this is nearly done already. Okay, that is faster. And 2 cruisers, Maya class cruisers, also get an upgrade with already Type 2 depth charters and radar. These are always air surface search radar. So it will only increase the detection time and reaction time for, I don't know if it have an impact for better flag efficiency, could be, but I would, normally this is not a gun, how you call it, gun control radar or something like this. Gun guidance radar. So I guess it's really only give the task force reaction time, and if you have cap, then the cap can be in a better position to intercept. But don't ask me if it's really. I guess it's good to have it, and if I can find ships with radar, I will try to have them and upgrade them. Why not? Good. In China, not really a lot of stuff happening. Not the focus point. Like I said, in Calcutta, I have luckily enough supplies, not enough fuel, because here's a big industry area. So I consume a lot of fuel only by heavy industry, but this will produce supplies, and this I need. Number one issue I have also is I don't have enough aviation support, so I try to reach the airfield level 8 to at least double this aviation support. to use maybe more air power to help me, because a lot of this area is clear open, so air power can have impact here. Good. Burma is nothing. In Dutchess Indies is nothing to discuss. So because this is now a new month, I can maybe shortly check Japan. You can see that I have supplies ready for the next shipping. One convoy is normally 40,000-50,000 supplies. But it's always a question where I ship them. Because Surabaya is okay. Palembang have some supplies left. Here is no supplies. Not really. These are the basic supplies. Miri is still repairing. I don't repair the refineries, only the oil field, but I need normally still here 99,000 tons of oil with supplies to fix this. In Singapore is very low on supplies for main port. Normally I need here 40,000-50,000 tons of supplies all the time. So what I do is I ship sometimes 10,000-20,000 supplies from Palembang to Singapore, but I normally also must ship the supplies to Miri. Manila is okay. 25,000 supplies is normally what I like to have in a major port like Manila or Singapore, Palembang, or even Rabaul. And Rabaul is totally empty. No supplies here. So I need to ship normally, I think, supplies to Rabaul to have them simply here. And Darwin is also short on supplies. I have sent some here, and I think more are coming. No, I sent some reinforcements, some tank units from Surabaya I had left now. They was under repair and refit, so now they are ready for combat. So I hope with this reinforcements I can maybe get the upper hand and clear out this Australian resistance once for all. There was also an attack on my cargo ship, I think. Yeah, I was trying to bring in supplies, but half my supplies are maybe burned up. Or I was able to unload some of them, but now the ship, I think, is nearly lost. This kind of fire is hard to get under control for Japanese, especially because if you have already system damage, it's hard to make firefighting. We will see. Maybe I can save the ship, but unlikely. I was hoping to get in more supplies, because Suva is also slowly but steadily getting an issue for me. And without supplies, you cannot fight and defend. Yeah, good. So I can maybe check again. Oh no, wait, not this one. No, new months again. Fog of war. I'm not sure if all information are true. Let's check the allies ships. All date. Maybe by points. Normally, I thought that the game after 3 months must report a true thinking, but it could be also 4 months. But Lexington looks like it's really lost. Enterprise could be, but not so sure. The Repulse in Prince of Wales lost long time ago. And the battleships, maybe, I think most of them they really went down. But these are all older class battleships, so how important it is, I'm not so sure. Charlotte was lost, that for sure. And Queen Elizabeth went down, but it's only AP. Bunch of heavy cruisers and light cruisers, and more light cruisers, and more light cruisers, and APs. So there's a lot of stuff lost, but I would say it's not crippling for the Allies. Not really. Maybe the amount of destroyers. But even that is maybe not the biggest issue. Sure, up to June the Allies they don't get too much reinforcements, but this will now start to change. So 1 to latest in 3 months, this is all replaced. Submarine wise, I was able to sink some British Dutch submarines, but mostly only Americans, and they all have no working torpedoes. So yeah. And for Japan, I lost my carrier. Yeah, there was a 1,000 point, and then I make full speed, and this combination with a little fire and full speed was unlucky. And then ship went burning down before I can arrive in Noumaya. The 3 heavy tankers also lost. It was a heavy blow for the tanker fleet, but because this is air armored, you have some more of this, and it's still possible to convert a lot of cargo ships to tankers. So in the long run, I would say it's not crippling. Most important was maybe that this ship was all full of oil, if I remember, and then a lot of oil went down. Also, some good APs and some good cargo ships went down, but in some APs, destroyers, but not too much heavy equipment. So biggest issue was really the carrier and the tankers and some APs. APs I only need early on a lot. Now I don't need them more so much. Tankers, I would also say, if you don't lose every week one tanker, it's acceptable. And air war, if first I check maybe my top pilots. I have 3 double aces. The rest is still a lot of aces, but 211 killed, 72 wounded. I'm not too sure if the counter will go down if wounded come back. Maybe it will stick to this. And 54 missing in action. So not really many pilots missing in action. Really, the pilots are wounded or killed. And air losses, if we now check for Japan and total. So Warhorse, of course, is still 0, but you can do this in AR mode because you have simply more Navy pilots. It's easier to handle this kind of losses. I don't say it's still easy, but... And you can see Navy pilot, Navy pilot, Navy pilot, Navy pilot, Navy pilot, Navy pilot, and then first is Army pilot. Then it's Navy pilot again, and Navy pilot again. So I still have most of my losses related to Navy. What I can do. But the 0M2 was so far number 1 in the meat grinder. Now M5 will take over more and more. But the losses are overall not so high. I mean, 6 months in the war and less than 100 aircraft lost per month. That is acceptable. You have destroyed air wings? No. Maybe I had 2 from the carriers, but I called them back. And for the American... So you be careful, the true number is 2,651 total destroyed aircraft and TS 3001, so you must take out 350 aircraft here. But, or 10%, if you scale down everything by 10%, maybe also is true. And it's clear to see that the dive bombers are dying, plus the Warhawks are dying, but they are similar to Zeros, and like the best frontline fighters the American Air Force have early on. Buffaloes are meat shield, nothing more, and Hurricane 2B is more or less the British counterpart for the Warhawk. They are okay, but they're not a super plan like F6F is coming later, or Spitfire maybe also. And you can see, I don't know if it's interesting to check by flag losses, not really. It's not possible to check here by type of aircraft because I would normally see how many 4 engines. Here's the classic B-17E 4 engines. The E is under production, not more the D. So 50 B-17s are lost. That is a number. I don't know more what is the production amount. I think 12 per month. The Ds are also no replacement, so maybe they are already all destroyed. And more 4-engine bombers. I cannot. Normally there must be also some. I cannot remember the name. Yeah, you can see here all the numbers. If I remember, there's another 4-engine bomber. Anyway, good. I can maybe check this. So these are all my active Navy, or how you call it, Navy air wings. But these are all air wings on ships. Yeah, I think this is the definition. So these are ship-bound air wings. And you can see that I have 600 aircraft on carrier, cruiser, submarines, whatever. Most are ready. You can also check this now and see that I have 235 fighters on carriers now. No fighter bombers, no night fighters. 84 dive bombers. No, this is not possible, not possible. Oops, take this out. Float planes 119. Again, these are all aircraft on ships. So you can see submarines, light cruisers, heavy cruisers, battleships. Float fighters, I don't use them here in the mod. They make not so much sense. In scenario 1 they are useful, but here I would say not so really. And torpedo bombers are 161. So 161 torpedo bombers against 84 dive bombers means you can also see the amount of air wings. I focus more on torpedo bombers because the torpedo hit will always cripple the ship. Doesn't matter if battleship, cruiser, whatever. It's simply normally it will slow down the ship immediately and make it much easier to get a hit. A dive bomber, especially this 250 kilogram bomb hit, can start fires but will not really slow down a ship. Good. I cannot really say more for this. And land-based aircraft, I have 5,287 aircraft. Most of them are ready. And you can see that I have 1,800 roughly fighters. One fighter bomber wing. Night fighters, no. Dive bombers, yes. So you have also a lot of dive bombers training, operating from land fields, whatever. Normally they're all training. So 440 dive bombers are. These are all level bombers. You can see attack bombers in Japan. They don't have this light bombers. I don't know more what is a light bomber in this game. Yeah, all these 1-engine bombers. This is normally all training. Medium bombers are Nell, Betty, Sally, Lily, and also Helens. They are all. I think this is what the Japanese have. Twin-engine bombers. Because the Japanese don't have heavy bombers, this would be. This mod have a heavy bomber for the Japanese, but it's late war. So very hard to come by. But in the end, you could say I have 1,300 attack aircraft. Let's say this. 180 recon aircraft, 223 transport, 128 patrol aircraft. So I call them normally long-range torpedo bombers. I mostly use them for Navy attack and not so much for Navy search, because they carry 2 torpedoes and they have the range. But even that is much better than the H6 because you have armor protection, more durability, and the speed is better. But still, of course, it's dying if there is an enemy cap. Float planes, so Jakes mostly. 666. The devil's number. Okay. float fighter. I have some, but I don't really use them here. And I have also a greater number of torpedo bombers still. Some for training, more normally all for training. Yeah, good. Now, in last information is my shipbuilding program. I know maybe I can also maybe check this. But the problem is that this will not really show everything. And you don't have, I think, a total number, no. So I have a lot of destroyers and torpedo boats. But if a ship is in port under repair, it will also not show up here. And you don't get a feeling how many ships I have. There's a counter missing. So, yeah. I can only show that this is the amount of carriers I have now ready to use. So carriers are under repair will not show up here. Escort carriers, battleships, heavy cruisers and light cruisers and scout cruisers, but I don't have more scout cruisers, and a lot of destroyers. And yeah, I can maybe check this. So I have not more not here, maybe here. Yeah, so these are my 3 scout cruisers. I sent them to Tokyo to start the rebuild to get out of them Shitose light carriers, and they have already radar, but they are first finished end of the year. So beginning of 43 I get 3 more light carriers, but they are useful. They don't have a lot of capacity, but they are fast. So you can see cruise speed of 18 is 5, so they are fast. Not top speed, but cruise speed is good. And they have also a lot of torpedoes for light carrier. So I can put a air wing, a fighter wing, and a torpedo wing on it, and then it's fine. So a lot of punching power, I would say, for this kind of light carrier, I would say. And end of 43, you get a better upgrade, but not more so much change. If you have 578, and at the end I would only call only the 10 centimeter really important. 25. Yeah, they will create damage, and this is the last upgrade. So end of 43, this is the best upgrade. Never surface search, but I get at least 21 radar. 21 is a more shitty one. I think type 13 is a better one. So, but at least I would say every carrier is always better than a scout cruiser. So this, and in Singapore I convert the 10U class cruisers. 100 more days I get here the first anti-aircraft cruisers. This is like in scenario 1. I would say this is useful. And this is maybe even better than the allied counterpart, the Ohama class light cruisers, because Ohama class have a mix guns with 6 and 5 inch, but only the 5 inch are dual purpose, and here you get all dual purpose 5 inch guns. So it's enough to sink destroyers and down aircraft. Yeah, good. So shipbuilding program. Yeah. By time. So I always push the last carrier to come earlier. That I have the idea is that in summer 43, if the allies are really rolling out a lot of stuff, starting to roll out stuff non-stop, that I have the most important equipment already on the map, so that I have at least to autumn, maybe even winter of 43, always the upper hand in numbers. In 44, I think I will be outclassed in numbers, but that is still far. So, and you have here this kind of 2 carrier. You can see there's only You cannot check it really by the number. But you have this 42, 90, and there's only one special carrier. This is 47. That is a special carrier. This is a single type carrier, you can call it. If I remember, that is normally a heavy cruiser, and the Japanese never finish this heavy cruiser, and they start to convert it early on to a light carrier. But the rest are purpose-built light carriers. And these light carriers are a little better. You can see you get not 31, you get 36 aircraft. And I think a little more durability, better anti-aircraft. And you get here air and surface search radar. But so far I understand the Type 22 surface search radar will only help in surface engagement for this ship, and I have only 10 centimeter gun. So maybe against enemy destroyers this could help. Good. But the more important carriers are of course this 90, and these are this KE Shukaku. So Kai means improved or super Shukaku or improved Shukaku. So you can see they are, but they are not a big jump forward. So it's really only, I think, a little better protection. I don't know exactly what is the big difference. A little more. No, I think 75 is the same. So there are some improvements. But even if there's no improvements, I would say Shukaku carriers are, of course, normally, I think, the best. If the Japanese did this in real and not try to use the Taiyo class, because Taiyo class is like the first class carrier, and of course they are good, but they are so expensive and very need long time to build. So if you really want to start a war, you need something you can build fast and not too expensive. Yeah, so I will still need some time before I get first this light carrier. That is end of the month. Then I still need a whole more months and even more to get my first Shukaku Kai carrier. And then it still need more time. So I push this maybe to some autumn 43, and I would say that all of these carriers are finished in autumn of 43 latest. There are not many escort carriers. You can convert some APs for this, but I don't know where I convert them. I think I still have to do this first now, and I think in June I can start it. The battle cruisers and battleships I don't build. They are useless for me. With this strong air power, it's waste of money. The cruisers, light cruisers, there would be other stories, so I build them, but I don't push them. Destroyers, I push what is this 13 class flag cruiser or flag destroyer, because they are anti-aircraft and anti-submarine. And this is what I need. I don't need anti-surface. For this I have already enough destroyers, but I need more anti-aircraft and more anti-submarine equipment. Good, and submarines, of course, there's only one choice, always stop them. Never build submarines if you have nothing. If you have something else to build something else. Far too many points to pay for some submarine. And already in June 42, most Allied destroyers have already very good equipment. Latest in 43, if the debuff is removed, Allied destroyers will kill submarines so fast. Good. I think this is first enough. Then see you next time. Take care. Bye.